Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Sinag and we're doing a recent reads kind of video. So I just wanted to talk to you about the books that I've recently read, and since I am enjoying what I'm reading right now, I just wanted to give some love to them and just inform you, or maybe you would like to read these books as well. So the first book that I'm going to talk about in this video, it is Tether by Igharo. This book is about Azere and Raphael. So Azere is a Nigerian woman now living in Canada, and Raphael is a Spanish man Spaniard living in Canada as well. So anyway, they had a one night stand, and after some time they realized that they are co-workers. So basically, Azare's mother wanted her to marry a Nigerian man, and so that their culture will always be intact. On one of her dates, orchestrated by her mother, she was disappointed obviously with her date, and she doesn't want to be with any guy that her mother pushes towards her. And so while she is leaving her disappointment at that night, she met with Raphael on a bar, and they had a one night stand together, and then that's it. And then the next time they see each other is when she realized that he is the new co-worker that she's going to have. And then right after that, the next day, they were told that they are going to partner in a project together. So anyway, that's it for the basic synopsis of it. And basically, this one tackles or introduces discussions towards culture and preserving of culture. First thing that I wanted to point out is that I love Igharo's writing style, and it's very fun and easy to read, and it's just, I think she's a potential favorite author for me because of how compelling her storytelling skills are, and how she characterizes these characters. They really felt like real people to me and not just characters in a book. And I think if I finish reading her other book, which is I'm currently reading right now as well, which is I think Her Sweetest Remedy, I think she's good. If I like that book, I think she's going to be a favorite author for me, and I'm so excited about that. Anyway, about this book, this one has my favorite trope. I have a lot of favorite tropes, I think, but this trope is kind of a spoiler, so I don't want to mention it here because it is a spoiler. But I'm so happy, and this is an unpopular opinion because I've seen and heard a lot of reviews saying, or not just in this book but in other books, like a lot of people don't like this trope, but I love it. And every time there's this trope in a book, I am always eating it up. And I know some people gave books 1 or 2 stars because of this trope, but for me personally, I love this trope so much that sometimes that I love this trope so much that it really adds to the enjoyment of the book for me. And so that's it. That's what I'm going to say for for this trope in this book. So anyway, I wanted to talk about the characters for a bit. So both Azere and Raphael, at the start of this book and during the majority part of this book, they both are without backbones. Like, they are spineless, and they can stand up for themselves, and they have a lot of baggage carrying on as an individual. And that's why it's not a surprise for me during the middle part of this book when or during, I think, the third act conflict, when they had kind of a bit of a falling out. And I don't know if this is a spoiler, but I think that's where usual romance novels go during the third act conflict, is when both of our main characters kind of have a falling out. So I don't consider it as a spoiler. I'm giving this one 5 stars, and I highly recommend, and I can't wait to read more from this author. Hello everybody, so I just finished reading When Love Ignites, which is the 4th book in the Johnsons or Falling Like a Johnson series, written by Rilzy Adams. So I just wanted to say that this is a 5-star read for me, and it really solidifies the fact for me that Rilzy Adams is actually a favorite author, and I don't know, I just enjoyed her writing style even more, and how she makes these characters that feels like a fully fleshed out human being for me. And I just adored her writing style and everything that she does. Book is about Jasmine and Alex. So Jasmine is actually the única hija, or the only daughter in the Johnson's clan. So she has a twin, which is Jasper, who I am going to talk about later. But Jasmine is a lawyer. their family is full of lawyers, so all of them are attorneys. And Alec is her co-worker, so both of them are lawyers. And Alec has some perceived notion, or he perceived Jasmine to be benefiting of nepotism in the workplace, and he's feeling a lot of envy towards it, though he didn't actually put words, or he didn't actually say that. But obviously from his actions that we've seen in the book, he's very envious of her, which I can understand. But yes, so anyway, so this one actually has, aside from workplace romance, has a hate to love aspect to it. So but it is really one-sided kind of hate to love, because Alec, as I've mentioned, has a very prejudiced, or don't like Jasmine a lot, and he makes sure to really express it to her. And that's why Jasmine was having kumbaga, she's having a defense mechanism, or the reason why she acts like, and the reason why she acts kind of off-putting to Alec is because Alec was the one who's making her feel like he hates her, something like that. And so let's talk about the nepotism and envy that Alec feels, or the nepotism that Alec perceives Jasmine is benefiting. So in this workplace kasi, it is named as Johnson and Associates. So their father, or Jasmine's father, Jackson Johnson, is the owner of this law firm, I think, if that is what they call it. I don't know much about law. So anyway, so that company is owned by her father. Jasmine seems to have everything that he doesn't have, or Jasmine is just so kumbaga, she's both lucky and gifted. Alec kasi is a child of immigrant parents, and he grew up very poor, and he actually was fighting hard towards his education. And during the novel, he is actually still paying up some student loans that he used back in college and in law school. So he was thinking that because Jasmine is, what do you call this? Jasmine has kind of everything. Like, she has this scholarship in college, which is, I can agree. I can understand his enviousness, because as someone who also grew up poor, or in a very low income family, seeing other people, seeing especially very rich people having this scholarship, it's kind of envious, and also a bit angering, because they already have the means to provide for themselves, and they are taking slots away from those that really don't have anything. And that just hits so much to me. I understand Alex's point, and I actually on his side during the first um half of this book. But ever, I think this one ended really well, and I love how they both come to terms with each other and basically just communicate. And yeah, so it's a very enjoyable read for me. And I though at near the end of this book, Alex still had a bit of envious feeling or frustration, something like that, which is true for me, I think, because you can't easily change your mind about something, especially when you are very passionate about it, which he has a first-hand experience with regards to that. And he always had this thought, because at the middle of the book they started to date, so this becomes hate to love to workplace romance. So they started to date, and he was very afraid that because of that he might be fired from his job. I just like how this was incorporated in his character and both of their characters as well, because Jasmine has some baggage and some things that she's going through as well. And so I just enjoyed how Rilzy Adams really made these characters have the depth, and they really felt like human beings to me. And Alec having a relapse, or having what do you call this, having a what do you call it? It's kind of a relapse of envious feelings towards Jasmine's money or being rich is kind of a normal thing, because as human beings we are never perfect, and we get to experience these emotions that we have. And what matters is if we acknowledge that, and what are we going to do after we acknowledge that. And I think Alec was able to do that, and to have introspection, and basically put aside his pride and enviousness in order for the relationship to grow. And Jasper, in this one, Jasper, as I've mentioned, is the twin of Jasmine. And to be honest, in this one I kind of hated him, and I am not sure if I am going to like his book, because the next book in this one is The Sweetest Escape, which is about him. But I'm sure that I'm going to read it, because I want to finish this series from Rilzy Adams, because I think this is going to be one of my favorite series, because I just love all of them. And I don't know about his name, Jasper, but I'm wishing that he get his shit together, and get his shit together, and make me change my mind about him in his own book. So that's what I hope about that. Anyway, I really enjoyed this one, and I highly recommend it for everyone. And yes, and aside from that, this one has for me the most beautiful cover among these books in the series, because I just love the yellow. So everyone, I just finished reading Before the Dawn by Miss Beverly Jenkins, and I'm giving it 5 stars as well. So far we're having a great time reading these books. And yes, this one is another great read from her. Obviously, she's one of my favorite authors, so I can trust her, and I can trust her books that I'm going to love them. So anyway, this one has a very juicy and kind of a messy start, but mess in a good way. Our heroine, Leia, she actually married her mother's companion or partner or boyfriend. I don't know what they call each other, but they're kind of companions. And during his deathbed, because he can't live anymore, because her mother just died recently. And yes, well, anyway, during his deathbed, he promised to protect her, because it will take he promised to protect her, and by doing that, he married her so that she will carry his name and be his what do you call this, be his inheritors, or so that she can inherit his possessions. And so when she go back to Denver, I think, from where Monty were first living, Monty actually had two sons back then. So it is Seth and Ryder. So Ryder is our hero, and they are not in good relationship with each other, and for various reasons, which you will know if you read this book, so I'm not going to spoil that. Anyway, she goes to this town where he used to live, and yes, so a lot of things happened there. She met both of his sons, and a lot of different people as well. And so I'm going to stop there because I'm afraid I'm going to spoil it na. So I wanted you, if you're interested, to had the joy of reading all of the mess that happened in here. But mind you, all of the mess in here are kind of mess that's in a good way, and it's fun to read actually. And yes, so anyway, in terms of the overall concept or plot, this one is very juicy, and I think the juiciest in her catalog. Well, I think she has a lot of juicy storylines, but right now I really enjoying it, and I enjoyed how because the thing is, some plot points or some storylines can be a bit too much or too unrealistic if the writing style of the author was not able to give the storyline justice. But in this one, Miss Bev certainly did give justice to that storyline, and it's just fun to read. And yes, and aside from that, the characters naman, both of them are good characters. Well, the thing is, Ryder here is he has a lot of traits and attitudes that I usually don't like in heroes, but I don't know why, but when it's him, I kind of like it, or it's kind of fun to read, like because he has this thing where he is easy to judge other people. Like, he, from whatever news that he heard first, he will believe that immediately without analyzing or asking or being objective on being objective, something like that. So yes, so in other heroes or other books, I usually will not like this type of heroes because he deliberately is inciting miscommunication, something like that, and he was not really at first all ears to hear out what Leia's opinions, or what Leia's reasons about. But yes, but in this one, I don't know, I find him amusing, and also there's a bit of a kind of love triangle going on at the middle. But I promise you, it's very good. It's very good, like the entire writing style and the entire storyline, it's very good. And I don't know, it's just fun to read this. I don't know how many times I am going to repeat telling that it is fun, but yes. So anyway, I highly recommend this one, and I truly enjoyed the reading experience with this book. So I also wanted to add that for the first time since I become a Beverly Jenkins avid reader, I finally am correct with my prediction on who's going to be the third act conflict people, who's going to enact or who's going to want to harm our heroines. Because that's what I've noticed ever since reading her books, is that her third act conflict usually have the heroine was always being put into harm by other people, and usually the people who wants the heroine harmed were sometimes were most of the time you will not predict that they are the one who's going to hurt them. So, and then the hero will save the heroine, and yes. So that's it. And so for the first time, my prediction was right, and I'm just so happy because usually for me for me, I don't predict a lot. Like, that's why I am easily that's why I am easily sold to thrillers, horror, something like that, because I don't predict. I don't I don't use my brain cells to know what's or to predict what's going to happen next. And so for most of the time I tend to enjoy what I'm reading because of that. But in this one, I don't know, since this is a milestone, this is an achievement for me because I didn't really mean it, because this character, the character who wanted to hurt our heroine, during this character's first appearance on page, I got really off vibes from her. And so I don't know. It's just, what I can say is that Miss Beverly Jenkins was really a great writer, because she really made me feel weird with this character. Anyway, this is the first time, so I just wanted to take note of that because I'm so happy. Anyway, hello everyone. So I finished reading Disability Visibility, edited by Alice Wong. So this one contains a lot of essays and personal accounts or stories from different people with disabilities, and showed us how they navigate the world in this ableist and audist society. And I just enjoyed reading this book. But I learned a lot in this book, a lot in terms of getting to know who these disabled activists, performers, lawyers, designers are. And there's so much more you can get from this book. And as a non-disabled person who is still learning and educating myself with regard to disability and different plights of disabled peoples or people with disabilities, I like to read more from first-hand experiences and different thoughts and aspirations of people with disabilities. I highly recommend this one, and I give it 5 stars. So that will be the end of this recent reads video. I really enjoyed reading these books, and I hope that you'll give all of these books a chance if you feel like the premise of this book suits you. Anyway, I enjoyed all of these. Obviously, I gave them 5 stars, and I'm happy for that. And yeah, so I'm going to do a recent reads again soon. I don't know when. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you get something from here. That if you have read any of these books that I've talked about in here, please comment down below any thoughts that you got from the book or the books. And yes, let's talk about it in the comment section down below. And yes, thank you so much again for watching, and let's see each other in my next video. Bye bye.